Alright guys, it's Tofuru here, and welcome back to some more Danganronpa. Goodbye Despair. And as we know, our dearest friend is gone, and we must now figure out who killed him. We got all the clues we could figure out, so all that's really left to do is go inside. Looks like everyone's here.
Huh?
Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people? No, dude, there's like nobody left at this point.
Damn it.
Stop it. You're making me depressed.
Stupid fool!
So, is it going to happen again? The cruel conflict where we must doubt our friends? But once we're through this, we can go back, right?
That's right!
That Monokuma bastard said so, didn't he? He said this is the last school class trial.
Damn it.
But we've been tricked at every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily.
Of course not!
Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do all this is the one saying it, you know.
You know, right?
That's why I'll definitely survive. If we can really go home after we deal with this class trial,
That's right!
I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops. What the fuck? Why are you here? You haven't realized it yet? That feeling of wanting to leave this island. Thinking like that is Monokuma's trap, you know.
Huh?
What are you saying?
Got it?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. He's planning something far worse. Stop trying to jinx us.
I'll beat you up!
Damn right. Stupid rabbits should just shut up. Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair. Huh? I finally realized, after losing my powers, I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight.
Huh?
What's her deal? I do not really know, but she seems different from before. Maybe she read a self-help book.
Wait.
But her eyes, she looked so determined.
You...
What can you tell by just looking at those button eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if you start talking during the trial. Fine.
But still.
Somehow, I understand what Monami is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial.
Yep.
You're right. We need to fight as much as we can. No matter how hopeless the truth awaits us in the end. Okay, give us the escalator and let's descend down below. There's really not much to say. It's just, let's get this shit on the road. This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered the Monokuma Rock. I wouldn't say it's the end, but it's definitely progress, I guess.
Yeah.
This elevator ride, this will be the last time for this too, right? I hope so.
Well?
Let's worry about things after we're finished.
You are right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. I really don't know who did it in this case, though. You know, I'm like leaning towards Sonia, but I don't know. I have no idea. The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is going to go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Neither can I. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him, because he was the only one to go through the funhouse. But even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand and fight. We must fight. I mean, in his death, you might find out a lot more answers than you think. And then the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair? Well, I guess that's what we'll find out, huh?
Well now.
Well then, now that the chatterbox Nagito's gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Enough! Just fucking start this already.
Hey!
Hey, this is right. This is really the last class trial, right?
Yep.
Yep, sure is. So you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
All right!
Didn't I tell you? He said it. This is the end.
Now then.
Let's get this trial started.
Viva killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other.
Well, that was direct. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Jeez, that's such a brutal way to die. Nagito Komieda, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing of his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there were also times he saved us too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but we have no choice but to figure out who's the killer. There's no way we can end it without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. It's crazy to think about how many people are dead and how many we just lost throughout this entire endeavor. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito. The killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. Dun 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 do 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 do. We also got a new skill, right?
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you?
She's about to kick your ass, Monokuma. That's what it looks like.
You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Chesto!
Why?
One more time!
Oh, she's not gonna react anymore?
Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow!
She withstood all of that.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all.
Oh, thank God, you realized.
The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor,
You'd assume that the traitor was the one that killed him.
that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
Maybe.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Nice defense.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
Though I do agree, it might not be the fact that it's like you might not be the traitor after all, you know? It might be someone who thinks they're the traitor. It'd be like the ultimate cover, you know? The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or someone entirely different? We will see, I guess. Torture wound, survival knife, duct tape, plushie, oil lighter, Monokuma's account. Let's see what they're gonna say.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up.
He was
What were they
shanked.
trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
That makes less sense, guys.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Tortured Nagito. See, that's like the one we have to focus on, but they didn't.
Crap!
No, because we're definitely
The
questioning
killer didn't
that.
tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him. I'm telling you, they were.
The reason Nagito's
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
There we go.
No,
Knew
that's
it.
wrong.
It had to be something proving that it wasn't torture. The duct tape made no sense. Cool, got it.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
Exactly. If they're trying to torture him, that makes no sense.
If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
Exactly.
I'm prepared.
All right, buddy. Let's go for it. I'm interested in an argument fight.
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
What trap? Stupid. All right. Let's assume the Spear of Gungnir for now. I think we
Like
should
you
get.
said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down!
Click quad fingers. Yes. All right, force my way through that one. Cool.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Exactly.
Pay attention, this is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information. Then, after they killed him,
Whew. That's a sick way to like keep yourself in the combat.
crap!
I'll take the health damage. It means I can stay.
Pay
Yeah.
attention, this is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
It makes no sense.
Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut. Whew, that was close, you guys. Thanks to me, you guys didn't get caught in the trap.
Yeah.
Pay attention, this is how it went down. First,
Okay.
the killer tortured Nagi and got in. Then, after they killed him,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cut through those words! No. There's no
I
doubt
didn't-
Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
I did that intentionally to keep myself in that fighting zone. Got it right anyway. That is perfect.
What did you say?
It makes no sense. The tape was in his mouth. How do you put it afterwards?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
Don't you throw away that evidence, Akane.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Are you in elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
Yeah, it's such a big clue.
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth.
As if he was trying to move it underneath.
He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
Which makes sense.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
No, but they didn't care at that point.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
Yes. Yes, I do.
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
I mean, what other evidence was left?
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
Yes, it was, but like, what did they destroy?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yes, but the way they set up the panels, it could be any of us. We're not clear just because we're on the other side of the door.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means, it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
But very unlikely.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Yes, you could.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
And you have an obviously super crush on her, Kazuchi, which doesn't help our case.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
Great. The reason for the fire, huh? They're right. We need to clear that up first. Well, it's the panels and the oil lighter. Panels, I think.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup.
Yeah.
He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Yeah, sort of.
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They used the
They
panels.
probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Yes.
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
No.
Or perhaps opening the door caused.
Boom.
I agree with that.
I was just waiting for the one to go with it. Because it was easy to guess the item, but waiting for the word.
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan!
No. No, Sonia.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right?
And they're probably the same ones that got lit on fire.
It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
Yeah, basically I guess created a fuse.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
Yes, exactly, Akane.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
Sort of.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
The killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect. The sound. Where's the iPad? That would do it. Yeah. Easy.
I see!
Because there was the music. We wouldn't have thought about anything else.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right?
That's like definitely what she's talking about.
That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Yeah, the inside of the warehouse felt darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at a full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's pretty damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? No, I'm not talking about the music. And as if on cue, it suddenly started.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
So you did hear it, Akane, you just didn't think about it.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Yeah, it was jammed, right? It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop, okay? Didn't I tell you it'd be fine? Didn't I tell you it'd be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protest, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. I wonder if she'd be considered a murderer if it's by accident.
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
Yeah, but like I wonder if that was what killed Nagito, you know? And would she be convicted out of that?
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
Well, from the current facts, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
You don't look so sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know what else it could be. I think that is the answer.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
Oh, you think something else was in the way?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Oh, so then how'd the person set it up in the first place?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
So how did somebody set it up? Huh. If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse... I see. So the problem that Chiaki's talking about is... the killer couldn't have left.
I see!
Yeah, they're kind of stuck in there too.
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened,
Then where's the killer?
the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Unless they set up something else, maybe.
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Yeah, there'd be an extra person.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Who's that? Huh?
You don't mean...
But if that's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
Oh, you mean that the ultimate, what's his name? Masketeer. The guy who's, oh my god, imposter. The ultimate imposter did it. The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. Select someone. Alright, no way would Nagito do it to himself. No. No way. No way did Nagito commit it to himself and then got caught in his own trap. No way.
This is my answer!
Are you fucking kidding me?
What if it was Nagito?
You would be crazy enough to do it, but still, are you telling me that's like the logic behind this? That he was that fucking ballsy? He took the chance? I don't get it, man. I just don't see him as that ballsy of a guy.
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
Yeah, but he could have obviously set it up as an endgame.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He might have went on the offensive as well.
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid.
No, I don't think it's that.
His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
I don't know about that.
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
He would be crazy enough, I guess.
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
Unless Monami helped.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss?
Why is that a need to discuss?
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. The imposter could be Nagito right now. Or maybe Nagito killed the imposter. I don't know, it's kind of up in the air here. We'll figure it out, I guess, but right now I have no idea. We'll leave it at burned rope for now.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Yes, it is.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
It's them by himself.
Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs, tying both arms would be...
You couldn't do much with the free...
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
That's so important.
Crap!
Fuck you. Okay, Fuyahiko, I'm trying to figure this out. What could it be?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free...
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Nope. I'm trying to think what could be.
Crap!
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
But he got it done.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
Crap!
No.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by...
How about if you use your teeth?
Crap!
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but
The plushie,
tying
though.
both arms would be...
You couldn't do much with...
It'd be impossible!
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Crap!
That was an
To
interesting
actually
statement.
tie up your own arms and legs.
Crap!
Fuck.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the leg,
Well, he
tying
did
both
it.
arms would...
You couldn't do much with...
It'd be impossible if...
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
I just need to get through this. Come on. All right.
Crap!
To actually tie up your own...
He did it.
No,
that's
that's
like
wrong.
the truth is he got it done. Because the burn rope signifies he got it. So how he do it is up to us to figure out.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
The one rope was burned.
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up.
No, based on
That
the
was
damages.
just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
What makes you so sure?
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Well, because the knife's in his hand. The proof that the burn rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap. The knife.
Crap!
Oh, okay. I guess not. His right
I see.
sleeve? I guess. Oh, because it was burned.
Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all.
Oh,
Wouldn't you
the
agree?
opposite. Okay.
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural.
Yeah, because if it kept burning, it would have burned through his arm.
That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Maybe his plan was to lure the person in there, to him in that situation. And as a result, he'd have his hand to be able to fight back.
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Wait, what?
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
What are you guys talking about?
That's definitely wrong.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
Yeah, you guys are like freaking out here.
I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
No, you said Copperfield. Benjamin would be mine. Not only did she try to charge me, but now she wants the money back. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
Is there a way you could throw, like, knife your own hand?
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
Thanks, Akane. A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. Is there? What the fuck's the answer to that shit? The only thing I could assume is the blood on the girdle.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
I mean, it's doable.
Is he a throwing knife expert?
He has one lucky son of a
Maybe he
bitch.
propped the knife somehow?
Ooh. Ah, man. You think he propped the knife too, Hajime? The problem is, what did he prop it up with?
It's wrong?
Well, I lost that one. Shit. Alright. Next time. Lost a lot of life on the
If
other
he
one.
threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Fucking
I agree with that.
bullshit. I definitely used that. And now it works? It's fucking retarded. Okay, that took
Life-size Monokuma
way
plushie.
it
He
took
must have
so
used that to
long.
prop the knife.
It took so long to get that right. Okay, sure, a Monokuma plushie. That makes so much sense.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach.
Why?
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
Wait, he ripped a hole in the plushie and then stabbed his hand through it so he could stay in his hand? Okay. Alright.
If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
Sure.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
But then how did he put the plushie over there?
I see. So that's the trick.
So violent.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
But that would make no sense.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
He would be that crazy.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito.
Yeah.
If that's true, how is that possible?
He tied it above and let go of his left hand. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Wait, that makes so much more sense. He's probably holding on to it with his own hand.
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
No, it's the opposite way.
There is a limit to his constitution.
That's true, but he also was the same person who was willing to stab himself in the leg a bunch of times, then his arm, and then his hand.
If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm gonna let that one sink in. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
2 for 2, Sonia.
say it one more time? I need to record it. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Thank you, fucking Fuyuhiko.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear.
Yeah, but he was holding on to it with his other hand.
It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
Very fucking true, but doesn't mean it's impossible.
So you're saying it's impossible?
No, it's not. Especially with that type of spear, it is not.
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
Now, I wonder if he did that intentionally.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right?
No, we don't want to believe it. That's definitely the truth.
But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone.
Oh, shit.
If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
What's your plan?
Monami sassing me!
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far, so...
What's the difference now?
This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
True.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Well, it sounds like someone's trying to push us towards that he was murdered, when he could have killed himself. Now, why would he kill himself? Maybe to push us again, to think that, you know, there was some super evil guy among us who wanted, I don't know, some last hope test from Nagito? I have no idea. But it's very possible that he did commit suicide. It's also very possible somebody murdered the living shit out of him. I just don't think any of us did it.
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
Yeah, like, see, here's where the conundrum comes up. All this stuff was so prepared. I would only assume that Nagito did it to himself. You know, the door, nobody was able to slip out of that. The tying up, it's been explained so far. I mean, it's doable, but it's so weird that you do it such a violent way.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I wonder if Nagito, knowing that this would be the last murder, or the last class trial, killed himself in order to force a game where no one would die other than him. Considering that he'd be like the stepping stone for everyone to make it to the final stage. You know? Curious.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
True.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
No, it is very possible that when he bled out and died, the spear impaled him afterwards.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Thank you, Chiaki. Huh?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
I'm just trying to figure out how he got the blood in the girder.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together.
That's a good way to put it.
That's how. We made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
She's right. We've made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then even now.
Alright, let's do this.
Alright. Let's brainstorm. Okay. I think this one is blood on left hand, or yeah, it's blood on left hand, I think, because it's the only new one.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
Yes.
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth?
No.
Or maybe you used his front tail.
You and your front
Idle
tail.
guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed. What are you saying?
Yeah, some pretty insensual
A
stuff.
blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
Nagito committed suicide, then he must have used the spear to stab himself. Even if his arms were tied, there's no doubt he used some part of his body. I think it's his left hand covered in blood.
Let's work together and think this through. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, it does not rule out his left hand.
No, that's wrong.
But it was tied up.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
True.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
Yeah, but the spear had a rope.
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain.
Yeah, it's also on the spear along the thing, and there's a random spot where it's not covered in blood. And then there's also the blood that covers the fingernails.
Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
It would mean somebody closed their fist.
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
It was closed. What was Nagito's hand doing when the blood splattered? Gripping.
I see!
Yeah, gripping would be the word. I guess closed would
When the
make
blood
more sense,
splattered,
but
he was
okay.
probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Yes, totally, from there. Yes, he was.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But why?
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right. That's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle, just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Oh, she's
Really?
thinking about it?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
The section of the spear he was holding on to. The cord.
I see!
I got it. Like, I knew this part.
That's
like, this
it.
part makes sense.
Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
Well, because he was able to hold it on the girder, which allowed him to kill himself.
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki?
Yes.
I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
Is this a timeout? Is this what's happening?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
Okay.
That's a long plan name.
Yeah, but...
One step at a time. What does that mean?
Well, we'd have to figure out the layout of the current events, and then from there, figure out why the next one happened. And then you can piece it all together at the end, once you know how each thing occurred.
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was, and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
Correct.
How it was positioned.
It had to be around the girder. Nagito was facing up, and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if just before that... That's it. Could it be the state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment? If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Yeah, I think so. I think now we're starting to get it. A logic dive? Okay, I guess. Alright. Alright, got my jumping. I gotta remember how to do everything again. Alright. Ooh. Whoa! Whoa! Alright. Ooh! Ooh. What the fuck, game? Alright, question 1. Where was the spear just before it impaled? Ooh, above Nagito, I guess. I gotta have no choice now, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Ooh, that's a homing one. Ooh, these are homing ones. These are freaking weird. I haven't seen these. These are cool. Why haven't these been introduced until now? That's such like a letdown, don't you think? Like of all the things you could give somebody, you give like these cool new these new obstacles right at the end. That's so weird. Well, I guess considering there's still like I think another chapter left, we'd at least see something. Besides the spear, what else was above Nagito? The ceiling girder. Ooh, got it. Got it. Yes, the ceiling girder, because the girder had blood on it, which we noticed before we left. Or at least left the back area. Okay, but yeah. Ooh, crap. Ooh, come on. So close. These just slow me down, which isn't good. I need to, like, get some time back. Are you, like, fucking with me? Weird triangle doodads? Or diamond doodads? Okay, alright. Alright, question 3. The item connects both. What item connects both the spear and the ceiling girder? The rope. Ooh. Ah, I chose the wrong one, I think. I think it was the left hand. Oh no, it's the spear's cord. Okay, well I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that would connect both, because he wrapped the cord around it and then he dropped it down when he was about to kill himself. All right, there we go. So what we learned was that the spear was just before it impaled him, above him. What was the thing above him? The ceiling girder. And how were they connected? The spear's cord.
It's all coming together.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, if you figure out the small steps between what action caused which situation.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Correct. But the thing is, if we figure out all the ways the death could have occurred, then we could easily piece it all together later on to make a coherent story that matches it.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
It's doable if you hang it around the girder.
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
No, he's the luckiest student. So he could honestly have the most luckiest suicide.
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I guess that's doable. That's like so dark.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling.
Yes.
So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
It's doable. It's possible, I guess. But still, I'm very confused why he'd do it.
He really committed suicide? Like that?
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that.
But why a spear?
If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
Also true, I guess. Yeah, if they were gonna kill him, they would just tied him up and stabbed him to death.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
I guess... I don't know to pull... I guess to kill himself, yeah, but I don't know about pull off the trick.
Then, this is for real?
It could easily be that way, yes.
He really committed suicide?
But why? To bring us all together?
Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear?
Yeah, that's like intense. This man was like insane. He had to have stabbed himself.
That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end.
Yeah, he would have had to have completely been okay with stabbing himself a bunch of times. Over and over and over again. Until he was satisfied. Then he stabbed his hand, laid back, laughed it as he stabbed himself with the spear in the chest.
Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Yeah, he's like a fucking madman.
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer.
Or he was trying to bring you together and make true hope again.
His goal was to get us all executed.
I don't think so.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
See, while Nagito could be the craziest person here, he constantly wanted to be your stepping stone. He may have gone to the realization that if he killed himself, he would be able to be that stepping stone for you guys to create true hope. Right before the end, and actually in response to that, you know, figure out what's gonna happen in 2 days.
Did he want us to die that bad?
See, I don't think that's true either.
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Geez, now starting to feel a little sympathetic towards him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I had forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right?
Yes.
Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
No, I think he intentionally tried to pull out the traitor, but didn't get it to work, so he killed himself.
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
Is it though?
You are right, I suppose.
I feel like I'm gonna have like an inner debate on this. That did he do it for good reasons or did he do it for bad reasons? All right. If I had to imagine it, because I'm gonna, fuck, I don't know, man. You know what? I'll save the discussion for the end before I end off for today, because I don't want to delay it here.
It appears we've come to a conclusion.
Yes, we have.
The bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense.
I think we're missing something, but
It's probably just my imagination.
why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
No?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
I wouldn't say your gut's wrong, Akane.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right?
It almost feels rushed.
It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer?
Why is Monokuma acting this way? He's almost never said that. He's only said time's up.
Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Yeah, thanks, Hajime. Jesus.
Hold on. Why?
He almost got us.
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Me too. It has something to do with that imposter thing.
Like who the traitor is?
Well, it's the imposter thing, it's the poison. Why all these things? You know, there's so many questions just left in the air, and it makes no sense not to include them and see what they're meant to do.
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
No, but he may have... Well, it's simple to say that he may have committed suicide. There's too many things that don't add up.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Exactly, and that's how I feel about it.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
Well, you guys didn't check his room.
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here, I thought we were finally finished.
No, I don't think we're not gonna stop. Something related to Nagito's death, and a piece of evidence that even he couldn't mess with.
I see!
Wait, what are they pointing out here?
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
The victim is Nagito Komieda. A body was discovered in the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple multiple stab wounds in each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki's worried about is... What is it? Is it the height of... You know what? It might have something to do with... Oh, cause of death. It didn't say how he fucking died. Alright, well, I've died. Oh my god. What the hell is this? Oh my god. I need an S. Cause of This is ridiculous. This isn't even like, how are you supposed to handle this much? I need a... I'm losing so much health just trying to get this. I need a T. And then I need an H. Jeez. That is ridiculous. I had to restart because I didn't have enough health. And even at full health, I didn't have enough health for that. That was just ridiculous letters at that point.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
Maybe he poisoned himself, but why would he do that? You know? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's lacerations on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
True.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not?
See, you'd think. But when you went to his room and you found that the poison was half filled, there was gloves and a mask underneath the bed, as well as a weird aluminum cap, there's way too many questions that start to come up.
The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
I mean, to you.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Maybe.
Well, Monokuma?
I plead the fifth!
Obviously, he knows something.
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
But you said something.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Yes. In this case, it was the poison.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death?
Yeah, there very well might be.
Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
It might have been his attempt at a suicide, but in reality, what really killed him was something else.
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
Yeah, but with the current facts of what happened around Nagito, we were just trying to explain how that could have happened.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide.
Correct. But why he died isn't specified.
But it's not just a suicide.
It was a murder attempt laced within a suicide.
Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
He may have committed suicide for us to pay attention to the fact that he was going to be murdered.
Are you sticking up for him?
Maybe not.
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
And this is where I'll call it, guys. I think this is going to go into the next arc of the discussion, because we obviously think that Nagito committed suicide, but there's obviously some other reason why the poison was present, why the gloves are present, why all these other little factors weren't even noticed or brought up in this case. So hopefully that works out in the next episode. Sorry if this is long, or not. I may have crammed it down because I died a shit ton on really dumb questions. So bear with me in the next one, guys, of whatever I make. And as always, it's Tofuru signing out. Crap. I'll invoke my my question about Nagito in the next episode. So be sure to look out for that one. Whew. Alright, I had to get that out before I forgot about it. But anyway, later guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you next time.